Welcome to the short course on spiritual empowerment for the beta generation. You may be surprised by the title Beta Generation. At the very outset, let me briefly explain what I mean by beta generation. In the Greek alphabet, the first letter is alpha and the second is beta. When I speak of the beta generation, you might naturally ask, is there any alpha generation? Yes, there is. The beta generation refers to those born approximately between 2025 and 2039. They follow Generation Alpha, who were born between 2010 and 2024. Generation Beta will be the first generation to grow up entirely in a world shaped by artificial intelligence, advanced technology, and climate challenges, and rapidly changing social values and norms. They will not know a world before AI. In a constantly evolving global environment, they will be compelled to adapt quickly to new realities, environmental, technological, and cultural. Generation Beta can rightly be described as digital children growing up with AI-driven, personalized learning and unprecedented access to information. The term Generation Alpha was introduced by Mark McCrindle in 2008. Sociologists and social scientists use such generational classifications to describe people born during specific historical periods. These descriptions help us to understand the context in which people grow, not to judge them, but to appreciate their circumstances. For clarity, here is a brief overview of generational groupings. Generation Beta, 2025 to 2039. Generation Alpha, 2010 to 2024. Generation Z, born approximately 1995 to 2009. Generation Y, millennials, born between 1980 and 1995. And Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980. Then comes baby boomers, born approximately between 1946 and 1964. While technology changes rapidly, human aspirations remain the same. Every generation seeks meaning, belonging, love, dignity, and purpose in life. We must never label younger generation as weak or deficient. They are simply different, children of their own time and environment. They grow up under social pressure in a pluralistic world, often amidst uncertainty. We should look at them not as challengers, but as partners. The wisdom and experience of elders empower the young, and the energy, creativity, and innovation of the young empower the elders. This is a relationship of mutual enrichment, giving and receiving. Generation Alpha, the children of millennials, the largest generation in history, are growing up deeply shaped by digital tools from their earliest years. They are innovators, risk takers, and digital natives. Generation Beta will follow them, beginning with children born from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2039. These are not merely names in sequence. They represent the beginning of a new human story, one that will shape a very different world. We may understand how these generations are formed, but we do not know yet what they will become. At this point, let us reflect on the wisdom of the Bible. We read in the Psalm 145, "One generation commends your works to another." This verse captures the heart of empowerment across generations. One generation commends your work to another. Now, what is empowerment? Let me now introduce the concept of empowerment. Empowerment means enabling another person, granting confidence, authority, freedom, and encouragement to act, to take initiative, and to face challenges with courage. It involves motivating others and trusting them with responsibility. There are various forms of empowerment: building self-confidence and self-esteem, social empowerment and promoting justice and equality, community empowerment that fosters harmony, professional empowerment through opportunities for growth and development. In short, empowerment means making others powerful for the common good. Empowerment is not an abstract idea. It is something we live every day. Parents empower children, and children in turn empower parents. Teachers empower students, and students empower teachers. Doctors empower patients. Families flourish when members empower one another. Communities grow strong when people support one another. Love, compassion, and forgiveness are deeply empowering forces. Problems are not solved by accusation or fault finding, but by empowerment. I will illustrate it with a powerful example. Abraham Lincoln, the greatest president of America, was once ridiculed and treated with contempt by Edwin Stanton, a lawyer and a politician. Yet, during the Civil War, Lincoln appointed Stanton as Secretary of War, despite strong opposition from his own cabinet. Stanton went on to become one of Lincoln's most loyal, effective allies. And we see every empowerment has a mutual, supportive dimension. Lincoln empowered Stanton, and Stanton empowered the president. On another occasion, when Lincoln's advisors asked him, "Why don't you destroy your enemies? Destroy them, then you can win the war." Lincoln famously explained, "Yes, I have already destroyed my enemies by making them my friends." Is that not a remarkable act of empowerment? This is the power of empowerment. It sets us free, dissolves hostility, and releases creativity. Life can either empower or disempower us. It can burden us with fear or free us to live with responsibility, accountability, and joy. Empowerment gives us the strength to direct our lives, to live with purpose, and to make meaningful choices in life. The great power or agent of empowerment is the Holy Spirit, the source of renewal and transformation. When we allow the Spirit to empower us, life becomes meaningful, dynamic, and deeply purposeful. Empowerment is not about exercising power over others, but about becoming powerful oneself, becoming a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate person for the good of everyone. Now, try to empower yourself and others, and you will see a big difference in your own life and the life of our brothers and sisters.